Texas women's basketball presented by Pluckers. We are in the Frank Erwin Center with the number 6 ranked Texas Longhorns, and they are playing some of their best basketball here in Austin, Texas. Now, this is a team that is second in the Big 12. Baylor, no surprise there, number 4 in the country. But the surprise may be Oklahoma State, that was picked to finish 8th in the conference, and they are in 3rd place. Hi, everybody. I'm Fran Harris, along with Nell Fortner. And Nell, Texas just eclipsed that historic mark of getting 1,000 wins as a program. Every team needs that player to take them over the edge. And for Karen Aston, that is Ariel Atkins.
No question. And welcome to the start lineup, Ariel Atkins. How about her first start at Iowa State? Really healthy from that injury she had earlier in surgery. And she was a double-double. Okay, your first time in the starting lineup this season, a double-double, 22 and 11. And she did it from all over the floor. That pull-up jumper is beautiful at the free throw line. She can also do it defensively. Great anticipation skills and finishing on the other end. So Ariel Atkins, very welcome addition to the starting lineup.
Legacy type player, wants to be an All-American at Texas. Jim Littell has a great player in his lineup, and it's Brittany Martin. Man, you got to watch out for her.
No question. She's a Player of the Year candidate in the Big 12, and she's a double-double in Big 12 play. At that 3 position, she's going to be quite the matchup for Empress Davenport tonight.
So the 5 for Texas: Davenport, Rodrigo, McCarty, Ariel Atkins, and Imani Boyette. And we should mention that Breonna Taylor did tweak her ankle at Iowa State and is not expected to play tonight. We don't expect her to play tonight, but she may see some action later on in the week.
I'll tell you, I'm looking forward to seeing how Imani Boyette responds from her 0-point outing in Texas's game at Iowa State. Now that's hard to believe that she does not score. 0 for 4 field goals. She did have 8 rebounds. She did have 3 blocks in 18 minutes, but not scoring is really hard to imagine for 6'7" Imani Boyette, an All-American candidate.
And Texas is looking for her to get back on track. You know, we talk about it every game. Boyette is okay with not scoring, but she's such a presence that it's difficult to see that Texas can be very successful if she gets no points.
Well, it's really good that she doesn't give up on the defensive end. She still brought it on the defensive end, but she still needs to put points on the board to make Texas more dominating.
Boyette will jump it up and almost taken away, but Brooke McCarty will anchor for Texas the first quarter of play.
Oklahoma State in a man-to-man defense right now. It's going to be interesting to see. I always am interested to see how do teams guard Imani Boyette inside.
Oh my, Empress Davenport, the senior from Duncanville, knocking down a 15-footer to get things going.
You know, Empress, when she has a good start, that's usually bodes well for good things to come.
The long ball almost went glass, the activity on the board, and then the 3 ball by Patton goes down. Got to watch out for her as well. Passionate leader for the Cowgirls.
Well, she's the one player that's really come on strong this year for the Cowgirls. You know, she was a JUCO transfer, but her maturity at that point guard position in her senior years really made a difference.
Rodrigo Patton knocked that one down. Oklahoma State with a 3-2 lead here early on, as Ariel Atkins throws the ball right over Imani Boyette's head. Texas in man-to-man defense. Brittany Martin, one of the best in the business at taking you off the bounce. Really, there's nothing she can't do.
Well, you're right, Fran, and the thing I like about her game is she doesn't force her game.
Yes.
She lets the game come to her a little bit. She does so many things well. She can play defense, her offense. She's just a solid contributor on the floor.
A collision in the lane, and Boyette collides, it looks like, with Rodrigo Patton, and it's going to be Oklahoma State basketball.
Well, she got the charge right there. They set that up. You know, when you're making your cuts to the basket, if a team is ready for that, they will send a player in the path of Imani Boyette and pick up that charge, and that looks like that's exactly what happened on that play.
So Karen Aston elects to sit Boyette on the bench, brings in junior Kelsey Lang. And here comes Martin. Very unselfish player is Martin. She's such an explosive player, but really doesn't mind giving up the ball and being a playmaker. The step through with the left and her own rebound. three ball goes down for Sydney Walton.
You know, interesting, Fran, Oklahoma State shoots the second least amount of threes in the Big 12, and they've hit 2 to start this game. So this looks like it could be a good shooting night for the Cowgirls behind the arc.
Nice selection on their shots. McCarty goes by the defender and then takes it away. Smartly draws the foul on Coleman, does Brooke McCarty.
Well, there's that feistiness about Brooke McCarty. She doesn't give up on a play. She went after the ball after she has the miss, and she draws the foul on Mandy Coleman.
Oklahoma State with the 6-2 lead and a tough shot for Davenport, and here they come in transition. Another three. Martin almost comes away with that one and does force Kelsey Lang to turn the ball over.
Well, that's where Kelsey Lang really has to get aggressive and grab and secure the basketball. The play is not over until you've secured that ball defensively.
This does not look like the same Oklahoma State team we saw several weeks ago in Stillwater, where Texas defeated them by 30. This is a decidedly different Oklahoma State team.
Well, they seem to be playing with a lot of confidence. They're not backing down. And I think when they played Texas the first time, a little bit different maybe mindset by Oklahoma State, but not tonight. They're on a 6-game win streak right now. And they haven't done that since the 90s. So right now they're playing very confidently.
What do you think of this matchup between Davenport and Martin?
Well, I think it's one that I'm looking forward to watch how it goes through the night. I would imagine Karen Aston's going to put a few different defenders on Martin. She's that good of a player.
And again, Kelsey Lang almost has it taken away. Jim Littell, the head coach for the Cowgirls, doing a tremendous job with this team this season.
Well, he really has. He's in his 5th season, and you know, he's an excellent coach. Like the fundamentals of the game, the X's and O's of the game. You know, this is a guy that you would want to go learn from.
Yes.
You know, if he's at a clinic, you want to go listen to him speak. A lot of different offensive sets he can run. He'll wear you out in that department.
Littell in his 5th year at Oklahoma State. Rodrigo with a nice stop and pop. The senior from Marietta, Georgia, getting her first bucket here tonight.
Really nice shot by Selena Rodrigo right off that screen and didn't hesitate.
Martin steps back and drops it.
One of the prettiest step backs that we see in the game is that Brittany Martin right there, and she just has such a light, feathery touch on the shot.
Littell told me this morning after shoot-around that she has become a leader on this team, has one of the best mid-range games in women's basketball, and you saw it there with that last shot.
Well, we're going to get another look at it. It's worth watching twice. She can come off the bounce right here, but watch the little step back at the end. You see her create some separation, and she needed it because Kelsey Lang was stretched out wide.
Oklahoma State with an 8-4 lead. If you're just joining us, Fran Harris and Nell Fortner with the call and the pick by Oklahoma State.
Jensen right there. That's a big drink of water. Stepping out strong on an on-ball screen. You know, hedging is hard enough as it is, but when you're 6'4" and have to get out there and hedge, that was good work by the big girl.
Kaylee Jensen going to get credited with that one, picking off Davenport, and then on the other end, Davenport with the push. That'll be her first personal.
Well, I tell you, Oklahoma State has come out here and is executing very well on both ends of the floor. Their defensive plan is solid right now. Offensively, I mean, they've already sat Amani Boyette down on the bench before the first media timeout. So right now they have to feel good about what's going on.
And I like what you said about the confidence. The first time I saw this team play in Stillwater, they looked a little shell-shocked playing Texas. And now they've come out with obviously a great plan defensively, but even the offensive confidence, Nell, that you're seeing right now is just totally different.
Yeah. You know, Texas right now, again, before the first media timeout, you see Kelsey Lang in the game, Jordan Hosey in the game. So really having some substitutions here early on.
The lefty, and Martin with her own rebound again.
A beautiful follow by Brittany Martin on the missed first shot by Oklahoma State. And when you go on the road and you're playing Texas, you need some of those second chance opportunity points.
Martin now has 4 points. Ariel Atkins with the left overshoots that one, and then Jordan Hosey cleans it up.
Nice weak side offensive board by Jordan Hosey. She's got to bring a lot of that to this Texas team right now.
Hosey, the freshman out of Pearland, Texas, has not gotten a whole lot of playing time, but what I love about Jordan Hosey is that she seems to be ready every time her number is called. And so is Kaylee Jensen, who runs off the court, clapping her hands as she's given her team a nice boost here and a 12-6 lead. So Imani Boyette looking to check out. We'll be with more basketball when we return.
Today,
Texas basketball on Longhorn Network is presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we will give you the bird.
Back in Austin, where the number 20 Oklahoma State Cowgirls are giving it to Texas. A 12-6 lead here. Let's go down to the third member of our team, Tyler Denning.
Well, Fran, you mentioned the 30-point victory for the Longhorns in the first matchup. And Coach Karen Aston wouldn't go as far as using the word perfect in describing that first meeting, but she said it was one of those rare special games that a team has, that everything they put up goes in. But in watching the film, reviewing and prepping for this game, she said that she sees a team that is lacking the pace and the same level of intensity that they had in that first matchup. So she challenged her team to go back and watch that film individually. She attributed it to maybe some mental or physical fatigue, or maybe the grind of conference play. But in that last huddle, I poked my ear in, and she said, guys, this just looks like a team that wants to play, and you guys don't look like you want to play right now. Repeatedly, she has mentioned trying to find the edge. So something to watch is that intensity defensively, the hustle plays, all those little things across this as Texas looks to find that edge tonight.
No question, Tyler. She's mentioned edge probably 20 times in the last 3 days now.
Well, and when you look at the stats right now, they've given up 4 offensive rebounds already, and they've turned the ball over 3 times. That's 7 extra possessions for Oklahoma State. And there's the difference right now in the ball game.
Ariel Atkins, nobody guarding her, hesitates on the three-pointer. Imani Boyette back in the game for Karen Aston. A long one by Selena Rodrigo. And then Jordan Hosey will pick it up, give Texas another opportunity in the first shot clock.
Well, who's there to deflect it but little Brooke McCarty? She does a great job of just finding her way into little gaps and making a difference.
Ariel Atkins, the lefty, dribbles baseline and puts it up with the righty. Her first bucket of the night.
The extra possession right there, the hustle on the offensive board, making a big difference right there for Texas.
Jensen can't get that one to go. A rare opportunity in transition for Texas. Here comes Atkins. Probably was a missed opportunity there. McCarty runs over a couple of folks, and then it's picked off by Oklahoma State, and it will remain Texas basketball on this end. I think Jordan Hosey got pushed. Yes, she'll shoot 2 free throws.
I think Jordan Hosey's come in the game and brought some energy for Texas, and I think that's what Karen Aston is needing right now. And it's hard to believe that you're trying to generate that from your team at this point in the season when you've got so much on the line. You're playing the number 3 team in this conference right now. So every game's important. Every win is a must if you're trying to win this conference championship.
Sydney Walton was signaled with that personal to put Jordan Hosey on the line. Misses that one. I'll tell you, Oklahoma State not lacking energy in this ball game right now. They are working Boyette down low. Is Jensen try to go in there. Oh, and a tough foul on the floor.
Again, I'm so impressed with McCarty's hands right now. Whether it's she's the one who gets the deflection right here that leads to the Oklahoma State turnover. She's the one who's getting her hands in there for the offensive I mean, this little kid never stops playing.
She's feisty, folks. To the hole is Selena Rodrigo. Tries to get her own rebound, and that's some nice defense by Oklahoma State.
Sure was. Jensen got her hand on that for the block.
Patton just looked at her team and said, get ready. You know, I'm ready. She's feisty. I'm ready to go.
Well, her motor goes at about 200 miles an hour.
No
Everybody else's
question.
is about, 100. That's too slow for her.
12 on the shot clock. Martin had a nice cut to the basket. And then a little too quick for her own good is Rodrika Patton, who does not believe that was a travel, Nell.
Yeah, that's a call that we see a lot in the women's game. I really don't see that call much in the men's game.
Yes.
I don't know if they just, you know, she picks up her pivot. This is what they're, see how she slid her left foot, her pivot foot, and that's the travel. Good call.
You mentioned the energy for Texas. We got to mention again that Breonna Taylor usually brings that for Karen Aston, and she's out with a minor ankle injury. So Karen on the hunt for that energy that Nell Fortner talked about.
Well, and that hurts Texas.
Yes.
There's no question, because Bree Taylor has been a very instrumental part of this team and Texas's success playing that 4 spot at only 6 foot tall. But she does a great job. It doesn't matter if she's guarding someone bigger than her. She really does a good job of keeping it going defensively.
And it's the passion. You know, she does whatever Karen asks her to do, but it's the passion that she brings to both ends of the court that I think Texas misses when she's not in the lineup or not available.
Well, no question. You know, when Texas lost Nneka Enemkpali last year, that energy player, that was it. And it really hurt Texas down the stretch. But Bree Taylor trying to fill that part of it, but right now a little hobbled.
Imani Boyette, the senior out of Los Angeles, knocks down both free throws to cut this lead to 1 with 2:44 remaining in the first quarter. Martin, too hard, and they just let Texas get the rebound, trying to protect in that transition game. The pull-up by Atkins.
I love the confidence that she's playing with right now. Texas on a 7-0 run. And Ariel Atkins, when she starts feeling the game, Fran, you can just see it in her eyes.
You can see it. Won a couple of championships at Duncanville and is on fire for Karen Aston the last few games. Had a double-double at Iowa State last weekend. The block by Boyette. Nice hustle by Oklahoma State, and then Patton on fire with the three-pointer.
Okay, that was great hustle play by Oklahoma State. That ball got blocked. It was going out of bounds. It gets saved, and Patton knocks down a 3.
Carly Wheeler saved that one for her teammate and then made a nice pass. Hosey puts it on the floor, tries to go to the hole, and it's going to be knocked out by Boyette. It will be Oklahoma State basketball.
We're going to see Atkins coming down in transition. Just really a nice job in the flow. Pull up at that free throw line and knock it down. But Oklahoma State says, nope, we're going to do you one better, and knock down a 3. So right now you see Oklahoma State answering Texas's run in a huge way.
OSU only hit 2 threes in the first meeting versus Texas tonight. They've already knocked down 3. That's a nice move by Brittany Martin. Ran out of real estate. Jordan Hosey's going to the hole, and it has it blocked beautifully.
And that's where the freshman has to learn not to try to do too much in that instance.
The no-look down low. It's picked up by Boyette, and that's a little track meet. The stutter step by Brooke McCarty ties this ball game up.
Beautiful finish, and that was not an easy shot that Brooke McCarty took
tough
right there. I think she was trying to hit a basket and get a and one, but she really did a nice job of focusing on the finish.
Ball game tied with 52 ticks left on the clock. Trying to maneuver around Boyette. That's a tall order. 9 seconds on the shot clock.
You know, just Imani does a great job of moving her feet and keeping her body in front of Holt right here. Not reaching forward, just keep the ball up right there. Great job of some footwork.
9 seconds on the shot clock. Brady Sanders, senior out of Godley, Texas, in the ballgame for Jordan Hosey. Brady Sanders, a fixture in this starting lineup last season for Karen Aston. Just there, someone missed an assignment.
Yeah, Karen Aston is not going to be happy about that, because those dead ball inbounds plays, you can't let an easy layup happen.
The 2-point lead, 17-15, Oklahoma State. 18 on the shot clock. As Boyette does a little pick and roll action. A little feathery jumper comes out of the basket, but Brady Sanders with the pickup, and Texas with an opportunity for the last shot right before it's taken out of their hands.
Well, I like how both of these teams are battling. They're playing knowing there's a lot on the line, and that's what
Yes.
we're seeing right now. These kids are really playing hard for every ball and every point.
Brittany Martin, no surprise there. She was going to take the last shot coming off that curl to give Oklahoma State a 19-15 lead to finish off this quarter.
Well, you got to do something for Brittany Martin coming off of a curl. You've got to make a difference defensively on her.
Brittany Martin has 2. Her teammates getting into the action, and Ariel Atkins showing she's got some skills there. We'll be back with the second quarter in just a moment.
And welcome back to the Irwin Center. To the start of the second quarter, we're going to see Brittany Martin from Oklahoma State coming off of a curl. This is an offensive threat that is incredibly hard to stop. She has great elevation, a high release on her shot. And Empress Davenport, Fran, at some point is going to need a breather because she's getting worked over by Brittany Martin.
We take a look at the Big 12 Player of the Year candidate. Nell, who do you like in that? Obviously, Brittany Martin is a phenomenal offensive threat. Nina Davis, last year's Player of the Year. But Shauna Johnson's come on strong as well.
Boy, a lot of really great players in this category, but Brittany Martin leads the Big 12 in points, rebounds, third in steals. I mean, she's going to be tough to beat out right there.
She's having a Player of the Year type year for Jim Littell and the Oklahoma State Cowgirls. Empress Davenport with the turnaround jumper. Nobody on the boards for Texas. Tyler, what was Karen Aston saying in that last huddle?
Well, Coach Aston was very fired up, as you would expect. She said the difference right now, loose balls, the team is getting hustled in every aspect of the game. She challenged her team. She said, they want it more than you right now. This isn't even a game.
No question about that, Tyler. Oklahoma State has 13 second chance points to Texas's 2 at this juncture in the game.
Yeah, that doesn't bode well for Texas, and that's what you have to do if you're Oklahoma State. You've got to get those hustle plays. You've got to get those second chance opportunities, O boards. They're doing exactly what you got to do when you're going on the road.
Imani Boyette with a tough turnaround jumper that goes down.
Boy, she can make it look really easy, can't she? Just that turnaround at 6'7", high release on the shot. Very hard to get up and contest that shot.
That's a part of Imani Boyette's game that she had to develop because people were starting to overplay her drop step, Nell, and she didn't have a turnaround jumper.
You know, and think about this. Once you face up, if you're a post player, you now turn into a perimeter player, so they can't touch you. So you're going to give yourself an opportunity for more space.
That's a great point. Kaylee Jensen with the bucket on the other end and the block. Brooke McCarty shot on this end. That was a swat.
I mean, Jensen is really, she's turned into a really nice ball player for Oklahoma State.
Her second block of the night. Tough shot by Davenport. Brooke McCarty's going to turn the corner, and man, she ran into a wall.
So we're going to see Jensen, really nice timing right there, stays away from the hand of Brooke McCarty, gets all ball. Really nice job by her coming over and showing some big help.
Easy to block a shot when a shooter commits to leaving the floor, and Jensen waited on that one, timed it perfectly. Oklahoma State with a 21-17 lead here in the second quarter, and yes, the women's game is in the second quarter system instead of halves now. Brady Sanders with a nice layup. This is lead to 2.
This is what Brady Sanders can give you off the bench. This fifth-year senior, she's got the experience in the big game. She knows where to go, what to do, how to create some energy on the floor.
That's a great point. Energy. We didn't think of Brady Sanders because she doesn't get a whole lot of play, but that was Karen's go-to, Karen Aston's go-to for energy over the last season and a half. It's Brady Sanders.
You know, she's a player that Texas can always go, you know, she's on the bench, she's there. Karen has her right there in her back pocket, not getting the minutes that she's used to getting, but that experience,
been there.
You cannot beat that kind of experience.
That's a good hustle by Rodrika Patton. You gotta, I'm telling you, if you're a guard on this Texas team, you gotta watch your back with Patton on the floor.
That is quick on
That's
top
some
of quick
quickness.
right there. Some good guards in this Big 12 conference.
Casey Kendrick, the analyst for radio for Oklahoma State, said that Patton has taken her passion up to a completely different level. does not want this team to just lay down for anybody. And we're seeing that intensity now.
What do you see Oklahoma State working very well together, whether it's on the offensive end or the defensive end?
Brooke McCarty with the clock winding down. I didn't even think she knew that it was winding down.
That's a monster three right there. It could not have come at a better time for Texas, because if they missed the shot or got the shot clock violation, that would have really been a tough thing to recover from.
McCarty ties it up with her second three.
So Brooke McCarty really does a great job. Now her foot's on the line, so that'll go down as a 2 right there. But did they call it a 3?
They called it. I don't know what they called it, but they tied it up, so it must have been a 2. So Brooke McCarty knocks down the long 2 to tie up the ball game. And then Oklahoma State just throws it away. 6:42 remaining in the second quarter. And Texas with an opportunity to take the lead in a game that has a playoff feel to it. Boyette, the early jumper. Over the back is Ariel Atkins, who had a double-double at Iowa State, so she can crash the boards and get Karen Aston some boards.
You know, I don't have a problem with Imani Boyette shooting the ball at the elbow. But when you stand there, look around, and you don't have any options, and so, oh, let me just shoot the ball. That's not the right time to shoot the ball. You're not ready to shoot it. It can't be a last option.
An afterthought.
Right. So unless the shot clock's running down.
Nice pass. Ariel Atkins ahead to Brooke McCarty, and Ariel Atkins is hiding on the other side of the court.
That was a beautiful play by Ariel Atkins. She's the player who's going to throw herself out of bounds after those loose balls, that relentless effort. But to have the presence of mind to throw it ahead and up the floor to Brooke McCarty. Nice basketball play.
Texas with a 2-point lead. A little over under 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Boyette looking for someone to outlet to, and the fans getting into it now for Texas.
Well, the effort has definitely been elevated for Texas in this second quarter.
Jensen's really clearing Boyette off the O boards, Nell, not really allowing her to clean up the way she normally does on the offensive end. Long one by Patton.
Yeah, not sure about that shot right there by Rodrika Patton. It seems like she's wanting to get a lot of points and threw one shot quickly right there. But Brittany Martin has not scored in this quarter. And that's something that Oklahoma State can ill afford to have happen. She's got to put points on the board.
Atkins takes an early shot. Kelsey Lang almost cleans it up. It will remain Texas basketball. Texas's trademark has always been defense. And here is the sophomore from Duncanville showing why she was an All-American in high school, ahead to her teammate, and it's happening for Texas. They've got a 2-point lead here in Austin.
When you need time.
Texas basketball on Longhorn Network is brought to you by Whataburger. Bite into something new. Introducing Whataburger's Buffalo Ranch Chicken Strip Sandwich for a limited time only.
Back in the capital city for Big 12 women's basketball between number 6 Texas, number 20 Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State scored 19 points in the first quarter, just 2 points in 5 minutes here in the second. They are 1 for 5 field goals, and now they have hit the cold mark on offense.
No question, only 2 points in the second quarter. They've got to get Brittany Martin going offensively. She's a player that really needs to put points on the board. It opens up everything else for Oklahoma State. So right now, she has not scored in the second quarter, so I'd expect we're going to see some plays run for her.
Martin had taken a break and came back in the game just as Kelsey Lang scores that last bucket. Texas on the end of an 8-0 run here in the second quarter with about 4.5 minutes left until half. Martin on the floor with the nice step back again. And then Jensen will bait Imani Boyette for the foul and go to the free throw line.
You've got to get over there and put a body on Jensen, or she's just going to kill you on the weak side rebound right there. So she draws the fouls, gets an opportunity to get herself to the free throw line. You know, we don't see the lineup of the bigs that much for Texas anymore, but Kelsey Lang and Amani Boyette.
At the same time.
Not that they're not comfortable playing together. Karen Aston just has more options of putting a little quicker lineup on the floor, 1 through 4. Now Jordan Hosey in for Amani Boyette.
Jensen, 4 points on the night, misses the first of 2. If you've been following the women's game, then you may know that the 1-and-1 is resting in peace. It's no longer an option in the women's game. It's 2 free throws. So
I really hope they revisit that and put it back in. I think the game misses it. I do. It just puts a little more pressure.
No question.
On the free throw shooter that I think is fair.
Yes. Now, Jensen would have gotten 2 free throws anyway because it was a shooting foul, but what you're going to see is once a team hits that 5 foul mark, teams are shooting 2 free throws, and even if you're a bad free throw shooter, you're still going to get the confidence from having the 2 shots. Kelsey Lang misses that one. Jensen cleaning it up for Oklahoma State.
I thought it was good offensive execution by Texas. Good ball movement right there, and a nice, really nice shot by Kelsey Lang. That's a shot normally she'll hit down, she'll knock down.
.19 on the shot clock as Oklahoma State tries to get something going offensively. Been scoreless at 4.5 minutes. Martin can make something happen. A little flex offense, flex cut, and they get the offensive foul.
It's a little bit of a moving screen right there by Oklahoma State, and they get called for it. Trying to run a little play off that underneath out of bounds, but
Texas with the 4-point lead until half. And Selena Rodrigo looking around. Empress Davenport is great off the dribble. Jordan Hosey trying to make lemonade out of lemons, and does as she goes to the free throw line.
Well, you said that just right, Fran, because she had nowhere to go with the ball, but her activity, how active she is. She keeps pivoting and moving the ball. And just, hey, please, somebody help me out here.
Listen, I want you to watch how Jordan Hosey runs to the scorer's table when Karen Aston calls her number.
Yeah.
So you don't see that a whole lot. You see players jog to the scorer's table, but she literally sprints, taking off her jersey, her warm-up, when Karen calls her name, and that's the energy she brings, and that's how much she wants to help this team.
She wants to play, and if you want to play, get yourself to the scorer's table as fast as you possibly can. Jordan Hosey only averages 9 minutes a game in Big 12 play, so she's trying to get there fast, might get an extra minute.
Hosey knocks it down. Texas now with the 27-21 lead, 3:25 remaining until half. The 10-0 run by Texas makes it feel like a serious drought by Martin, by Oklahoma State, who hasn't scored in a while. Some nice penetration on the baseline. And the drought continues going into the 5-minute mark for Oklahoma State.
The ball goes off of Jordan Hosey's leg right there. She had secured the rebound, but Brittany Martin got a hand in it. Another hustle play right there by the senior from Oklahoma State.
You know, talking to Jim Littell today, he says, Brittany, I said, what's been different about her? He says she's become a great practice player. In her first 2 years at Oklahoma State, she was a gamer, not a great practice player. He said she's put that together, and really her desire to play at the next level, he believes, is what has turned the corner for her in that area.
Yeah,
Martin almost gets that one.
They all start figuring out by their senior year, hey, I want to be a pro.
Yes. And Martin will certainly play at the next level. Kelsey Lang looks like she traveled. And that's 5 turnovers for Texas.
You know, that's just not Kelsey's game right now, to try to turn and make a move. And her ceiling and getting the ball going towards the basket, or catching it on a little 12, 15 feet out, she can knock that shot down.
Another three by Oklahoma State.
Diana Omazi right there. They needed that. That should take a little bit of the pressure off of Oklahoma State right now.
Jordan Hosey catches it, shoots it, it rolls around. And whose ball is it going to be? Nice hustle there by Oklahoma State. It will remain Texas basketball, though. The drought ends for Oak State. Assist Brittany Martin. And then some nice hustle by the Cowgirls here. They don't get the basketball, but that's all-out hustle.
That was a bonus three for Oklahoma State because that's only Omazi's second three in Big 12 play.
McCarty over to Selena Rodrigo with an air ball. This didn't really look like she had her footwork there. McCarty looked like a little globe trotter.
A curly needle going on right there.
Kelsey Lang has it deflected. Jensen with some stellar defense.
So again, Kelsey Lang really trying to go outside of what she's really comfortable with. Back to the basket, trying to make a move. Isn't really her strength right now. You know, that's something she has to really add to her game.
The 6-point lead has been cut to 3. Martin cuts it again to 1.
You know, when you see her score, Brittany Martin, like that, you're going, why is it so late into the second quarter? She makes it look so easy.
Yes.
You have to credit Texas's defense, keeping the ball out of her hand, making her go to areas that she doesn't want to score in.
Oak State looks like it's picked up the defense as well. Turning the corner is Davenport. Selling the call is Davenport. And Martin, here it is now. The mid-range game of this player is pretty phenomenal.
Well, nice little pump fake right there, but look at it. She's got the little fadeaway right there. She really does such a nice job of either a step back, a little fadeaway, high release point when she shoots the ball. You know, it takes a really strong wrist to get the ball up there and then release it.
Yes.
But really nice job of strong wrist on the follow-through.
Texas with a fresh shot clock, and Jensen just kind of discarded Ariel Atkins, and that's going to be 2 fouls on Jensen.
Yeah, and that's a big foul for Oklahoma State because she's going to have to come sit for the rest of this. Well, it's only 56 seconds, but still, she's a player you want to keep on the floor as much as you possibly can.
Coming up at halftime, an interview with head coach Karen Aston. We'll take a look at the 1,000th win, and of course we'll have first half analysis and highlights. And that's coming up in about 56 seconds. Timeout on the floor by Oklahoma State. We'll step aside as well. Texas with a 3-point lead. We'll wrap up second quarter in just a moment. Women's basketball, number 6 Texas taking on the Cowgirls of Oklahoma State. And we've got us a ball game, Nell Fortner.
We do, and I like it. I think that this is a great time of the year to be challenged like this. You're trying to really shore things up. You're heading down the home stretch for the NCAA tournament. Both teams need it.
The lob inside to Martin. She's just going to jump over you and shoot it. McCarty with the rebound. And the stutter step. Oh, to the hole is Brooke McCarty. The sophomore from League City.
She's got such great ball handling skills right there. Just really makes a defender really struggle to guard her in the open court.
Texas with a 5-point lead, 20 seconds until halftime. And Rodrika Patton can definitely get to the basket. She's the playmaker for this team.
Texas changing up their defense into a zone right there, making it a little difficult for Oklahoma State to run any of their man stuff. But you're going to see McCarty get it in the full court right here. And look at the little hesitation right here. And, oh, let me get by you there. And the finish. You know, she's so good at finishing at the basket where there's a lot of bigs in there. She's not afraid.
Not at all. Brittany Martin Misses the first one. Empress Davenport, who's been charged with at least slowing Martin down, has 2 personals, and she will take a seat as Brady Sanders comes into the ballgame for the final 10 seconds of the half. Look at Brittany Martin's numbers: 21 points, 11 rebounds, steals. She's having a Player of the Year type season. Gets the second one, and now Texas with an opportunity for a special situation. 8 seconds, nobody picks up Rodrigo, and she just drops it herself. Martin's gonna heave that one and might make that one. So nobody guarded Selena Rodrigo. She took it upon herself to just shoot the jumper.
Well, she did. Texas goes in with a 4-point halftime lead, and I tell you what, this game's gonna go down to the wire.
Tyler Denning is standing by with Coach Karen Aston. Tyler?
Well, Coach, I heard you challenge your team in between quarters there. Very unhappy. You give up 19, but then just 8 in the second quarter. What changed?
We woke up a little bit. We just seemed surprised by how aggressive they were, even though, that's how they play. And, first time we played them, they were a little bit timid. But that's not how they play. And I think we seemed caught off guard by it.
How about the effort defensively on the conference leading scorer, Brittany Martin?
It's better. I thought, well, on Martin, it's really good. But I thought, we just have to stay with the game plan. I know they've hit some shots that we didn't necessarily expect them to, but we've done a good job on her. We've done a pretty good job on Jensen, and we just have to stay with the game plan.
All right, thank you, Coach. Guys.
Well, UT led in Stillwater 43-13 at the half. The first time these 2 teams met. It is a different story completely here in Austin as Texas takes a 4-point lead. We'll be back with halftime in a moment. Welcome back to Texas women's basketball, presented by Pluckers. We're here for the second half of play between Texas and the Oklahoma State. Let's head down to Tyler Denning with Coach Jim Littell.
Coach, what was the difference on that offensive end in the second quarter?
We didn't reverse the ball. We got a little stagnant offensively. We kept the ball on one side, weren't moving bodies, and weren't moving the basketball.
What do you want to see coming out here for the second?
We got to reverse the ball. We got to swing the ball from side to side, and we got to share the ball a little bit more.
Appreciate the time, guys.
Thank you, Tyler. Now, coaches love seeing the reversal of the ball, but for fans who are listening who don't understand how important that is, what happens when your team is able to execute that?
Well, when you have the ball on one side of the floor, all the defense is shifted that way, so they're all focused on the ball. When you can reverse it quickly, you have offensive players have an opportunity, especially post players, to pin and seal the defender, and then the ball can just shoot quickly back inside. So the quick reversals, post players knowing that reversal's coming so they can start getting that position for the seal. And then that's when you start scoring a little easily in the paint on the block.
Texas took a 4-point lead into the half after Oklahoma State hit a drought offensively. And then they were able to kind of dig back into that. What do you expect to see from Oklahoma State offensively heading into the second half?
Well, I expect to see exactly what Jim Littell just talked about. He wants that ball reversed. He wants to be able to take the ball inside easier, and also on that reversal, get some uncontested shots. Because, look, Texas is a lockdown defensive team. This is one of the best defensive teams in the Big 12 in the country.
Nationally.
This team can ball pressure you. They've got size to really contest you hard. So moving the basketball against them and making that defense shift is to your advantage offensively.
And Oklahoma State and Texas, similar in some areas. Points per game, Texas averages 73, Oklahoma State 55. But they like to push tempo. And obviously they've got a high volume shooter in Martin. Eight on the shot clock. Boyette with a deflection will remain Cowgirl basketball, and 6 seconds now left on the shot clock.
Really nice defense by Monty Boyette to stay on top of Jensen and be able to get a hand in that passing lane and deflect it out of bounds.
Boyette's got to be careful turning her back on the ball right there. And Jensen slips right in. You got to see ball, see girl.
Well, absolutely. You called it right as it was happening. She didn't see the ball, and you'll pay for that all the time.
Oklahoma State trying to make it difficult for Boyette. One-on-one coverage. She tries to go over Jensen. Some nice defense by Jensen, and Boyette just throws it right away. That's good pressure.
Well, she checked the ball pressure, won that one dribble and didn't go anywhere and picks it up. Then she's just dead in the water right there. And you're going to find yourself in trouble turning it over most times.
The 2-point lead by Texas, taking us into the third quarter. You know what else is great about Martin? She doesn't press to score. She just gets it when she gets it and makes it happen when she's on offense. Davenport with the dribble over to Atkins. The dump down for the easy deuce, and now Texas with another 4-point lead.
Well, that was too easy right there if you're Oklahoma State. No drop down on that backside defensively, and Texas gets an easy basket. You know, one area of the floor that Oklahoma State has not been able to exploit against Texas is the middle of the floor. They can't get there. Texas's defense is so tough in taking away the middle in their man-to-man defense.
A nice three-pointer there by Sydney Walton. Cut this lead to 1.
Well, that's 5 3-point baskets by Oklahoma State. They only average about 3.5 in Big 12 play. So right now they're shooting that 3 ball very well. And again, it's one of those things on the road that needs to go down for you.
Brooke McCarty thought that needed to go down. She's got 10 points on the night for Karen Aston.
And she's such an efficient shooter. You know, she gets high percentage shots. She's 5 of 7 right now for her 10 points. That's a really nice shooting night.
Coleman over Atkins, and here comes Texas. A rare opportunity, 3-on-2, and McCarty wisely pulls it out. Lena Rodrigo directing traffic for the Longhorns. 18 on the shot clock. Atkins measures and gets it.
Knocks down the 3. She's playing with such confidence right now. You can see the focus in her face,
You can.
in her eyes. She is so hungry to be on this floor and just plays hard every minute she gets.
Got to remember, Atkins was one of those who had off-season surgery, so you're absolutely right, Nell. She's so glad to be playing basketball right now. Brooke McCarty goes glass, and Texas now extends its lead.
I see a timeout coming right now. Yeah, Oklahoma State's got to stop the bleeding right now because Texas really feeling themselves to start this third quarter, and Brooke McCarty is the one that's really leading the charge. What a beautiful little fake, and she gets that layup for the easy 2 for Texas.
There are players who put your team in an upper echelon, and Ariel Atkins is definitely that for Karen Aston.
No question about it. She's really just playing so well and confident right now. She's 11 points on the night so far on 4 of 6 shooting. We're talking about a player that shoots at a high percentage, and she's shooting not just around the basket. She's pulling up jumpers, she's hitting 3s, but this is a player that is very efficient. And when you work as hard as Ariel Atkins works, whether you're coming off an injury, working to get back on the floor, good things happen for you.
Yes.
All of a sudden, you're a better player, you know? But she puts the time in. This does not just happen overnight for her. She's put in her time, and now she's getting to shine on the floor.
And she's a team-first kind of player. Had her first career double-double Saturday versus Iowa State, 22 points, 11 rebounds for Ariel Atkins, both career highs, and she's going to take a break for Texas. Brooke McCarty thought about the 1-on-2 break and pulled it back out. Texas now with an 8-point lead.
You see how much pressure Texas can put on you defensively. I mean, Boyette comes out of nowhere and blocks a jump shot by Brittany Martin that leads to transition. I mean, talk about having to get back on defense if you're Oklahoma State.
Tyler, what's Karen Aston have to say in that last huddle for Texas?
I need you on every single play. I need your hustle. Do not get tired on me. If you're tired, let me know and I'll pull you out. Don't be afraid, but she needs that hustle in this stretch.
Well, she knows that Oklahoma State has the ability to get themselves right back and cut into that 8-point Texas lead. They can do it quickly. definitely. When you've got a Brittany Martin able to shoot the ball the way she is, the leading scorer in the Big 12, they're never going to be out of the ball game.
That's right. Martin averages 20.8 points per game, 12 rebounds from that 3-4 spot. And it's just a dynamic player.
Well, when you've got a team struggling to score offensively, you want to take advantage of that and extend your lead right now. So that's why Karen Aston is imploring them in the timeout. You've got to keep going hard, keep working, keep scoring.
Nice pick and roll action with McCarty to Lang. Texas extends its lead, largest of the night, on a 9-0 run, 42-32, and the travel by Coleman, turnover Oklahoma State, that's 10. And now you get the sense that the Texas defense is starting to wear on Oklahoma State.
Well, and this is what, if you're a Texas fan, what feels good right now. Texas is upping the tempo. They can feel their pressure is getting to Oklahoma State, and they're continuing to up their game instead of settling and saying, oh, well, let's just take it easy now. And that's what's encouraging if you're a Texas fan. They're getting hungrier as the game goes on.
15 on the shot clock. Some scores on the floor for Karen Aston. Davenport launches a 3, and that's way off. But cleaning it up is former Duncanville teammate Ariel Atkins.
There's the relentless play of Ariel Atkins. She does not stop playing on either end of the floor. She wants the basketball no matter what end of the floor she's on.
Nice shot down low by Kaylee Jensen. Some great footwork. Cut this lead here at Texas, but Oklahoma State not dying. We'll take a timeout and step aside, back with more Big 12 basketball in a moment.
When you need
Oklahoma State trails Texas, but it's not for lack of effort by Kaylee Jensen.
Boy, I like this sophomore out of Nebraska. This is one of those Oklahoma State players that really has improved her game through the offseason and through her sophomore campaign. But she is a nice size post player inside. You see how she got the ball deep into the paint under the basket. No way Kelsey Lang can defend that without fouling or else getting a clean block, which she didn't. So this Jensen, she is going to be tough to handle throughout the rest of her Big 12 career. But I like her soft touch, her soft feet. She's got good footwork in there for a 6'4" post player. Good hands, can finish left or right.
You see the game summary there. Oak State first quarter blazing hot, 19 points since then, only 15. Brooke McCarty and Ariel Atkins have come alive for Texas, though.
Well, McCarty and Atkins really having nice games. Everybody being able to feed off of their energy. You know, those are two players, they just never stop working. They work on both ends. They just work.
There are always players you can count on doing some extra work. Brooke McCarty on game days is shooting. Ariel Atkins on game days is in the gym with the gun shooting.
Well, that's how you get better. You know, you can't become a better shooter unless you shoot a lot.
Whoa, Selena Rodrigo with the hesitation. And your word, little trickeration there with the right hand on the left side.
Well, she really did, and this is a player also, Fran, I think has gotten better as the season has gone on. Her body has gotten into a little better shape.
Yes.
She's a little bit quicker. Her confidence as that point guard. And that was another area. I mean, her and Brooke, they're both point guards.
Yes.
But Selena's the starting point guard. Brooke is the 2. And that, I think, has given Selena a lot of confidence to be the leader on this team and to run the show.
No question, and Brooke McCarty will tell you she prefers to be on the floor with Selena Rodrigo. She's like, you know, she can have the point guard position. Let me spot up, let me assist her, but they're all much more comfortable with her on the floor. Jensen again with the turnaround.
Boy, that's a nice shot right there. Just a beautiful move by Jensen, just a turnaround jumper.
She's got 11, and now a big rebound and outlet to Patton. I was about to say, and just like that, this is a ball game again. Ahead to Ariel Atkins. Maybe not the best pass on the floor for Selena Rodrigo.
So we'll see Jensen right here with another opportunity to score in the paint. You see, she just goes right at Kelsey Lang, but I don't know what it is about Oklahoma State. They all got step-back moves, which is a beautiful shot. Creates a little space in between you and the defense to get the shot off.
If Jensen keeps working, man, I predict that's an all Big 12 player right there.
Absolutely.
Off the bounce, a step back, and the jumper by Brittany Martin. That's a big-time move.
That's why Oklahoma State will never be out of ball games if they can keep it close, because Brittany Martin can come up with big shots.
She can just get a shot. Texas leads by 7. They go down low to Boyette. The little baby hook. Tries to teach the sophomore Jensen a little something, does the senior.
Now, Boyette really took it at her, and we haven't seen that aggressiveness in Imani this whole game. But offensively, she went right at Jensen like, okay, little sophomore, I'm going to show you how it's done.
Boyette with 6 points on the night.
Now, did you see how Jensen stopped from shooting the ball? Because if Boyette's 6'7", long arms, not quite as easy to get over.
Brittany Martin over the outstretched hands of Boyette. And then Texas tries to toss it ahead, but then Patton is so quick right there. Martin now with 13 points in the ball game. Look at this now, watch this.
Yeah, just a nice little nifty ball handling.
Playground.
Split the defense right there. She could have easily lost it, but she stays with those quick hands and gets the finish.
Boyette tries to go around and does get Jensen. And that will be her 3rd personal.
Yeah, that's where she's going to struggle some. If you take her away from the block and then you're able to put the ball on the floor, being able, lateral movement, quickness to stop that on-ball dribble.
Boyette with another baby hook that cannot go down. Jensen with another big rebound. Patton's layup, no good. Texas in transition, no numbers, and Ariel Atkins tries to make something out of that.
Well, you can't fault her. I'm almost okay with that. She's trying to push the action. Too many defenders back there, but she's trying to make something happen. And she does a lot of good for Texas, so sometimes she's going to...
You're going to give her that. She gets
right.
a pass on that one. Texas with a 7-point lead, 1:30 remaining, 10 on the shot clock. Goes up above Boyette. Boyette almost looked like she was saying, don't come in here with that.
Well, there's not a lot of room in there when Boyette is the one help cleaning everything up in the paint. You're not going to get an easy look at the basket.
So Boyette's miss gives her the opportunity to go to the offensive boards, but then she fouls Jensen, and she's got 3. So both the big girls have 3 fouls in the game.
Yeah, that's where Imani has to be really smart right there. The ball was done. There was no way she was going to get that ball. Jensen had it, so just move on. Next play.
Next play. Boyette will take a seat. Kelsey Lang in the game for Texas. So the 5 on the floor, Atkins, Davenport, Sanders, McCarty, and Kelsey Lang.
Well,
Go ahead.
I'd like to see more things being run to Brittany Martin right now. Just curls, you know, her coming off of curls, trying to get the ball in the middle of the floor a little bit.
They go down low instead and get Kelsey Lang the foul. That's 2 on Lang, and Gentry Holt will not go to the free throw line, but it will be Oklahoma State basketball.
Well, Kelsey Lang has to move her feet and do a better job of just getting on top to deny the ball, not reaching over the back.
Ariel Atkins with some defense there takes it away, and then Martin, I believe, is credited with the foul. That's going to be 2 personals on Brittany.
A little bit of a frustration foul by Brittany Martin right there. She didn't get the inbounds pass and just a little too over-aggressive.
Brittany Martin last season, first team all Big 12, no question heading that way this season, and possibly again player of the year.
Well, I think she has a strong argument for it, no doubt about it.
pick and roll with Jordan Hosey. She's going to run over somebody, but they call it a block. She got lucky on that. She got really lucky because actually she had an open 2-footer and kept dribbling toward the defense.
And yeah, that's interesting. We're going to get another look at it right now. A little pick and roll, and Texas running this action pretty much, but the feet are still moving. The defender wasn't there in time, so nice opportunity for Hosey at the free throw line.
Texas extends this lead to 10 with 18 remaining in the third quarter. Fran Harris, Nell Fortner with you on the call. Brittany Martin with you for the bucket.
What a beautiful move by Brittany Martin. And if there's one player on the floor that Texas needs to bring some help to, it would be Brittany Martin, just to stunt a little bit defensively.
So Brooke McCarty's jumper does not go down. Brittany Martin keeping it close here for Coach Jim Littell. Texas takes an 8-point lead into the final quarter. More Big 12 basketball when we return.
Texas basketball on Longhorn Network is presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we will give you the bird.
The Texas women's team is hosting another conference matchup next Wednesday against Kansas State. The Wildcats are fresh off an upset win over number 21 Oklahoma last Tuesday. We'll see if they can keep that momentum going against the Horns Wednesday at 7 Central on LHN. Let's take a look at the standings again, Nell. Baylor, of course, still playing some great basketball. Alexis Jones doing her thing. Nina Davis. Texas, Oklahoma State surprising some folks at number 3 since they were picked to finish number 8.
Well, Oklahoma State really showing us the great team chemistry that this team has right now. They had lost some players after last season that they weren't expecting to lose, but it's come back, and there's almost like addition by subtraction with this team. They're playing very well.
Yes.
On a 6-game win streak, trying to make it 7 right now. And they've come in here and given Texas all they wanted. This game's going down to the wire.
Yes, it is. Jim Littell said, you know, what's great about the Big 12 is that you get great competition every night, but who has to play Texas, West Virginia, and Baylor in a row? He said that's what becomes difficult about this league.
Well, no question. And right, if, you know, Oklahoma State, if they get the win tonight, puts them a little bit closer to Baylor.
Yes.
Evens them closer to evening up with Texas.
That was a beautiful move to the basket. And Jordan Hosey thought she was going to get a charge. Not only does she not get the charge, she gets the foul, and it's an and-one situation for Coleman.
Well, Jordan Hosey's trying to get that charge every game, and she's done it so far, right? But a little too overzealous on that try.
Does not get the old-fashioned three-point play, but that was a terrific move by Coleman. Tyler, what you got from the Texas huddle?
Well, the message, Fran, was all defense. Coach Aston saying only 2 people are shooting, so everyone needs to guard the ball. She wants no post players on an island defensively and make Oklahoma State take jump shots.
Empress Davenport settles in and makes the nice baseline jumper to give Texas an even bigger lead, 8 points.
Well, and they did it right through an Oklahoma State zone defense right there. Texas having no problem at all transitioning into a zone offense.
Stepping out is Jensen over Boyette, and the confidence building for the sophomore.
Well, she's so versatile, and she's just a sophomore. We're going to see a lot more growth to her game as her career continues, but that was a huge shot for Jensen on the perimeter.
14 on the, go ahead, Del.
Oklahoma State just is not backing down. It doesn't matter they're down 10. They are not going away. And I think that's what Karen Aston is in those huddles. You have to keep playing hard. This game is far from over.
And you got to keep reminding Texas that this is not Stillwater last month when Oklahoma State looked a little timid against Texas. Different team now.
It's hard to get players to understand that concept. Sometimes they get it in their minds, oh, we're better than they are because we won by 20.
Yes.
No, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah. You were up 40, you won by 30. Different ball game, different day, different team.
Teams get better.
Brooke McCarty chops some wood, going to the free throw line.
This is an impressive Mighty Mouse right here, because she can take the physical contact no matter where it is on the floor. Off the bounce on the perimeter, she can get around it. In the paint against a bigger defender, she can take the hit and finish. That's what impresses me so much, is the finishing off of a physical contact.
Brooke McCarty now 7 of 10 from the field. And you know what, Nell? Athletic trainer Heidi Leetzen and then strength and conditioning coach Sean McPherson, they have to watch Brooke McCarty because she takes such a beating because she's so much smaller. They have to remind her to drink more liquids, eat more food. And you know, she says, I'm doing it, I got it. But it's hard out there when you're playing these 6-foot guards and you're absorbing that contact that you mentioned. And nice little turnaround there by Jensen.
Another fadeaway shot to get the ball over the outstretched arms of Imani Boyette. Not an easy shot right there.
Look at Ariel Atkins fly in with the activity on the O board for Texas.
Well, she's going to do all she can to get those extra shot opportunities. She never gives up on a play.
The lead still at 7 for Texas. Jensen again stepping out over Boyette. Doesn't get that one to go down. Texas trying to push it in transition. Davenport decides to take the three-pointer for Texas.
That's the senior. There's your senior right there, Empress Davenport. Sometimes she takes shots that we don't always like. But tonight, the confidence that she has when she releases that ball, and that's what seniors do for you.
No question, Empress Davenport was shooting some shots today when they got to the arena, and it looks like it's paying off as the senior drops it down for Texas. There have been some great plays in this game, but I'm not sure any top this one by Ariel Atkins, the all-out, maxing out on defense, and then finding her teammate, Brooke McCarty, for the bucket, which really ignited this Texas run. And now for tonight's wingman, presented by Pluckers. Ariel Atkins, no surprise there.
I will never get tired of looking at the replay of that particular play. Because, okay, she's fallen out of bounds, but she has the presence of mind to look up the floor. Why not look sideways? Or why not flick it back to, you know what I mean?
Yes.
She has the presence to look up the floor. But that's what Texas does. They run. They want to run. So great pass, great play by Ariel Atkins.
Ariel Atkins having another great performance for Texas. We mentioned had a career double-double in points and rebounds Saturday versus the Iowa State Cyclones. Texas obviously won that one to move forward to 21-1 on the season. And Ariel Atkins is finding her footing for the Longhorns as Jim Littell does not like what he sees, calls a timeout.
Well, great defense by Texas. Switching on that on-ball screen right there really took Oklahoma State by surprise. Couldn't get the ball to the middle of the floor or even towards midcourt. Force a call and use a timeout.
The fans here tonight getting a great look at the Texas defense. As you see, they just run into some stifling defense by Ariel, who is careful not to foul, by the way. Now, you know, earlier in the season, she would have reached in there.
Well, the good thing about that play is if you're going to switch on an on-ball screen, switch to stop the ball from turning a corner. And Ariel Atkins had great footwork on that and did not allow the ball to go any farther. That was really good fundamental defense on that play.
We mentioned the fans are in the house today, and Tyler wants to add something to AA.
Coach Aston's talked specifically about Ariel, and she said it's her timing that's getting better and comfort with her teammates, and specifically also what the coaching staff is asking of her. Said she could see a visible difference in the TCU game. That's when Ariel really looked like herself. Fran, you mentioned it, a career high in points against Iowa State. The last game, also a career high in minutes. So you can definitely tell she's back from that injury in her full self.
Well, nobody's going to play harder than Ariel Atkins. That's why it makes it a lot easier for her to reincorporate into her team with her teammates, because she's going to outwork everybody. You want to play with somebody like that.
Atkins takes it to the hole and doesn't get that one to go down, but a strong move to the basket. A 10-point lead for Texas. Martin is not even looking at the basket for Oklahoma State. The nice feed inside. Boyette's going to be signaled for that one. And she's looking like, I have no idea what you're talking about, official.
You know, it's going to be interesting to see how Brittany Martin plays this last 5 minutes and 45 seconds because she is such a strong offensive player. Will she try to take the game over for Oklahoma State? Will she try to consistently look to the basket instead of letting, there's no more letting the game come to you. We are where it is right now.
That answers your question.
Well, and that's what Oklahoma State has to have that. She is that player for them.
She can flat out go get a shot. Not much you can do with that.
Her
Texas
face never changes.
Nope.
Her facial expression, she doesn't get too high or too low, very solid.
Brittany Martin's jumper takes us to an 8-point lead for Texas, 59-51. 10 on the shot clock. A little easy dish down, McCarty to Lang.
Beautiful little scoop pass. Pocket pass right there by Brooke McCarty to Kelsey Lang. She's got a great feel for the game.
That's a nice move by Jensen. And then Patton ties it up. There were 3 cowgirls around the basketball. I think Patton may have tied it up. Possession arrow, Oklahoma State.
The littlest player on the floor.
Always in the mix of things.
I think she's smaller than Brooke McCarty.
Yeah.
She got in there and got a piece of that ball from Kelsey Lang and gets the ball back for Oklahoma State.
Patton is such a fierce competitor. Won 2 JUCO national championships at Trinity Valley. You may remember that's where Crystal Henderson, who graduated from Texas last year, played. So she knows how to win.
Well, no question. What a great junior college program Trinity Valley has had over the years. Multiple national championships. A lot of schools go there to recruit players.
Kelsey Lang back to the basket, one-on-one coverage, elected not to take it to the hole, but does that time and uses the left with a very nice move against Jensen. She's got 8.
Kelsey's kind of struggled with that play tonight, put it on the floor with her back to the basket to get to the hole, but Jensen not able to keep up with her on that play.
The fans are, it's a sparse crowd tonight, but the fans are loving what's happening here tonight. And I do want to mention one fan not in the house tonight for Texas, and that is Macomb School of Business Professor Ruben McDaniel. Love Texas women's basketball, particularly this team, Nell, and he passed away on this past Sunday. And will be sorely missed. A big friend of Texas athletics, and I know you had an opportunity to spend some time with him.
Absolutely. He's been a fan for a long, long time because from my freshman year here at Texas, he was there. And Fran, we normally see him sitting
right there on the baseline.
He's not there tonight. He'll be sorely missed as a Longhorn fan here at Texas and a professor. I can only imagine. I never took a class from him, but I bet it was a fun, very knowledgeable class also.
No question. I mean, even back in the heyday, Nell, when we were averaging 8,000, 9,000 fans, you could hear his voice in the arena.
He would call you out.
Exactly. He would call you out. And let's just say his words were not family friendly always, but such a colorful character, a great man, family man, one of my mentors. And we will miss you, Ruben McDaniels, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the family.
Absolutely.
3:52 remaining here in the ball game. 63-51 lead for Texas. As Nell called it, Brittany Martin taking over this game, going coast to coast and going to the free throw line.
Well, she's the one who's going to make some things happen for Oklahoma State right here. The ball needs to go through her at this point in time in the game. Whether she scores it or whether she facilitates someone else scoring it, but Brittany Martin is the player that Oklahoma State needs at this point in time.
Martin with 18 points on the night already. $19, and the lead is 10 with 3:50 remaining in the fourth quarter.
This is still a very manageable ball game for Oklahoma State. They are still very much in this game right now. So execution by Texas, decision-making by Texas right now.
The give and go, Brooke McCarty. and one Mighty Mouse to another. Underneath the basket, McCarty goes to the free throw line.
She is never afraid to get into the paint and try to finish at the basket. She has no fear when it comes to trying to find the highest percentage shot that she can.
Rodrika Patton with 3 fouls for Oklahoma State. And
I think she's got some
blood or
blood on
something
her jersey. They've got to get that cleaned up. That's one of the rules. Can't play with blood on your jersey.
Assistant athletic trainer Will on the floor.
Yeah, they've got this special sauce. You know, he's like, they spray it on there and it gets it right off, supposedly. So he'll work his magic over there.
On Monday, Coach Karen Aston comes into the studio for a sit-down with our Lowell Galindo on game plan. Find out what she has to say about tonight's game against Oklahoma State and Sunday's game against OU. Game plan with Karen Aston, Monday at 7 on LHN. Brooke McCarty trying to extend this 10-point lead for Texas. Gets the first of 2. And you know who we haven't seen in this ball game, Nell? We've talked about what Texas needed to do to kind of get their energy going, was LaShawn Hicks. Didn't see her in the ball game.
You know, a little bit surprised at that because LaShawn really is one of those players as a freshman that can come in and really put a lot of points on the board quickly, but sometimes she gets a little overzealous.
Yes.
And can go the opposite direction also, but still a player that's very important to this Texas team.
And I'm listening to you talk about the weapons that Karen Aston has and the people she can go to in the ball game. And LaShawn Hicks, certainly one of those. Breonna Taylor, once she gets back from an injury. You mentioned probably we weren't going to see her tonight, but possibly on the weekend at Oklahoma, which will be a very tough place to play.
Well, no question. Both Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, what a swing here in the Big 12 that you have to make in order to win this conference championship.
Tough game last night for the Texas men's basketball team in Norman, Oklahoma. Nell, I mean, led most of the game, led all of the game until the last 40 seconds, and then Buddy Hield. Yeah, Buddy
Hield. Hit the big 3.
Yeah, he did everything. He was Superman last night. What a tremendous player he is. And, of course, Oklahoma wins that one at home.
Well, it's one of those ones where a team probably learned a lot from that.
Yes.
To be ahead the whole game and lose it, you've got to learn the lesson from that one.
Yes.
You know, it ain't over till it's over. And but it's got to be very disappointing for Texas. Beautiful shot by Brittany Martin right there. Again, this game is
far from over.
A lot of time left.
Martin now with 21 points.
I like this. Use some of the clock right here for Texas. You've got enough points to win the game. You just got to make sure you take care of the basketball. Don't quick shoot it. Use some of that clock.
Yes. That's going to be 4 on Jensen. Brooke McCarty's going to the free throw line for 2. Our officials tonight have done a good job. Beverly Roberts, Laura Morris, Brian Hall, some veteran officials that have been around the game a long time.
Yeah, when they come walking out on the floor, these 3 officials, you want to go, okay, all right, it's ball game's on.
Yes.
You know, they are so experienced. They have grown with this game through the years, just like the coaches have. And it's the progression that they have made.
Yeah.
You know, we get to watch that too, along with the players.
And just as players go and watch film, a lot of people don't realize that officials, after their games, have to review their tape to see the calls that they got on the mark and the ones that they may have missed. And so it's a big commitment to be an official at this level.
They could probably give a scouting report on all the teams just as well as the coaches can.
That's right. So the foul on the other end. Texas maintaining this 11-point lead with 2:22 remaining in the ball game. Pick and roll. Davenport runs into a wall and is looking around thinking, are you guys calling a charge on me? I ran into 2 people. Davenport goes to the free throw line.
That's going to be 5 on Jensen right there.
Oh, wow.
And Oh, they called the charge.
They did. It looks like a discrepancy on the courts. A couple called one thing, and then someone called something else.
Yeah, we're going to get another look right here.
Wow.
They called that charge. Jensen stepped right up. Not sure she was set, but she gets the call, and you got to move on. Next play.
Davenport with 4 now has the task of guarding Brittany Martin. The step back again, just a little short. And here's where Davenport can get kind of competitive. And the quick trigger for Davenport.
Well, and you just don't need it.
Yeah.
You don't need it at that time. 1 minute and 50 seconds left in the game. You got to use some clock right now. You got to know time and score.
Time score situation.
It's all about number of possessions. If Oklahoma State gets more possessions, it gives them more opportunities to put points on the board. So limit those if you're Texas.
So Karen Aston telling Selena Rodrigo, because Texas likes to push the issue.
Yeah.
They like to get the ball up the court and put the pressure on defense. But Karen Aston looking at Selena Rodrigo saying exactly what Nell Fortner said, hold up. We've got a lead.
And if you have some wide open layup down there, okay, then but not when Oklahoma State's getting back in transition. Use the clock.
Here's where you got to help Imani Boyette not get into trouble. And she draws the foul there on Oklahoma State. And now for the most dependable player of the game, powered by Chevy Silverado. Who do you think it is, Nell?
I'm going to say Brooke McCarty.
You would be correct. You won the washer and dryer. Brooke McCarty, our most dependable player of the game. Brooks had a great game, and really, we talked about that next gear for players. Someone asked me if Texas had a next gear, and I said, well, I definitely believe certain players have a next gear, and they've already stepped up. Brooke McCarty's one of those.
There's no question. You know what you're getting every game from Brooke McCarty. We know we're going to see her play both ends of the floor as hard as she can every game. She's making better decisions. She's being a very good leader. This kid brings it every day. Now you've added Ariel Atkins to that. You've got Selena Rodrigo continuing to do what she does best. You've got to have every one of these players on the same page heading in that direction in order to win championships.
Timeout, Texas. So let's take a look at the upcoming schedule. Doesn't get any easier in the Big 12 for Texas.
Well, no, it doesn't. You're going to go to number 21, Oklahoma. That's always a battle between Texas and Oklahoma, no matter where you play the game. K-State and West Virginia really has improved as this season has come along. They're ranked 24th in the top 25 AP poll. Texas Tech, when you go to Lubbock, it's never an easy game. It's just the way it is.
Yes.
But to finish the schedule out at Baylor, how much drama is that? I mean, that is some serious drama right there.
That's drama like an opera, right? That's going to be a tough. Baylor's always tough to play, but it's like a crescendo building in the season.
That's exactly what, and that's exactly what it'll feel like on that game day, the last game of the Big 12 regular season, and then after that game, win or lose, you're going to the Big 12 tournament,
yes.
and you're probably going to see Baylor again.
Yes. This is fun.
I love the conference tournaments.
Yeah.
The conference tournaments, no matter where you're at, are so exciting. Everybody's playing for a chance to get to the NCAA tournament, a higher bid.
Well, I mean, speaking of what's been fun calling this game, I look at what's happening with Auburn and the SEC. When we started this season on LHN, they weren't doing so well, and now the swing has happened with them.
Really, that defense has kicked in for them. Terry Williams-Flournoy has got that team bought in. They've got a big one tomorrow night on Sunday against Florida, and that's another team on the rise in the SEC playing very well. Pick 12 out of 14 teams are sitting in second place.
So South Carolina, the big dog in the SEC, but don't sleep on Florida. You can't sleep on anybody. Tennessee, Auburn, Kentucky.
It's that time of year where you're seeing the cream starting to rise to the top in every conference in the country right now. And Texas is definitely one of those teams.
So the fans appreciating the effort of the Texas Longhorns tonight on their feet. Brooke McCarty clapping her hands on the floor and high-fiving her teammates as Karen Aston meets Jim Littell and his staff at Oklahoma State as Texas rose to 22-1, Nell Fortner.
Well, I tell you, Oklahoma State should feel good about 38 minutes minutes of this game. They just didn't have enough to bring it on home, but Texas is playing very well right now behind Brooke McCarty. Now with the insertion of Ariel Atkins, this is a very, very tough Texas team.
McCarty and Atkins had big nights, 34 points between the two of them on 13 for 20 shooting. What a tremendous effort for those two.
Well, you know, and that's what everybody can feed off of right now is those two, that energy. But you've got so much experience on the floor in your post with Amani Boyette, Kelsey Lang. Bree Taylor will get herself back on the floor. This Texas depth is going to be hard for any team to handle.
Karen Aston wanted her team to come out with an edge, felt like they had lost it a bit. They answered the bell tonight. They beat Oklahoma State 70-55. They rolled to 22-1. Thanks for joining us. We're going to head to the Eyes of Texas.